ReviewTyme is the home for all things theme parks. Stay up to date with our videos by subscribing and tapping the bell icon. In 2014, concept art leaked online for what appeared to be an Arabian flavoured Disney park, designed by known Disney contractor Flavoured Studios. The art was our first glimpse at Disneyland Dubai. At the time, it made sense. Dubai was still pushing for a massive expansion of theme parks in the area, wanting to become the next Orlando. Almost all of the major theme park players had plans in Dubai, except for Disney. A day after the concept art had been leaked, a polite phone call was made between Flavoured Studios and the blog that first posted them, asking them to take it down as the art was very real and very sensitive. Whilst the concept art was politely removed, by then it was already all over the internet, and we had our first glimpse at a possible Disneyland Dubai. A small Disney park featuring Cars Land, a Star Wars land, and even an elaborate 5-star hotel within the castle. A park not designed by Disney, but designed for Disney, in the hopes of an elaborate licensing proposal. For ReviewTyme, I'm Luke, and this is the strange story of Disneyland Dubai. A huge thank you goes out to Insights and Sounds for helping us out when researching for this video. Check them out at insightsandsounds.blogspot.com. But before we dive too deeply into the concept art, let's first take a quick look at the company behind it. Flavoured Studios has a long history of working with Disney in parks and resorts all over the world. Founded in 1992 by Andrea Favelli, who had previously worked as a senior concept designer for Walt Disney Imagineering for 5 years, Flavoured Studios has gone on to create a multitude of themed entertainment projects, both for Disney and their competitors. Some of the most well-known projects Flavoured Studios have had a hand in include Discoveryland at Disneyland Paris, Port Discovery at Tokyo Disney Sea, the cancelled Glacier Bay at Hong Kong Disneyland, Sunset Boulevard at Disney Hollywood Studios, and Mickey's Toontown at Disneyland. Outside of the Disney bubble, they also designed Men in Black Alien Attack, as well as more recently a number of large-scale theme parks in China, such as Dino Kingdom. So, if anyone outside of Imagineering knows how to design a Disney resort, it's Flavoured Studios. And designing a completely original, unique Disneyland they would, with the plans for Disneyland Dubai. For a while, Dubai was trying to position itself as the new theme park hotspot of the world. Dubai Land and Dubai Parks and Resorts attempted to get every major player in the industry to build or license a theme park to them. Behind a number of major projects for Dubai Parks and Resorts was Riva Creative, who approached Flavoured to design a blue sky concept for Disneyland Dubai. The cornerstone of this concept was classic Disney storytelling, entertainment, and the beloved characters, brought to life in the arid desert on the edge of an ancient oasis. Or as Bob Iger might have put it,
authentically Disney and distinctly
Arabian. The big differences in this park to the others around the world would have been immediately noticeable from first stepping into it. After being welcomed by a familiar Mickey floral face, you would have entered under the Arabian-style train station, featuring a railroad that would have traversed throughout the entire park, often in the middle of lands rather than around a berm. Emerging on the other side of the station, you would have been in the park's main street, though rather than being themed to a turn-of-the-century American town, it would have been a mix of Shanghai Disney's Mickey Avenue, Mickey's Toontown, and the classic Fantasyland-styled buildings. One of the first things you'll notice when looking at concept art for this park is that close to 50% of it would have been contained within show buildings. This is due to the immense heat that the United Arab Emirates experiences for a large portion of the year, featuring average highs in summer of 105 degrees Fahrenheit or 41 degrees Celsius. Much hotter than even Orlando's unbearable 91 degrees Fahrenheit and 33 degrees Celsius. Right near the entrance of this land would have been a classic carousel, and it was expected that some classic Fantasyland dark rides would have also been contained in this Main Street Fantasyland crossover. Towards the back of the land would have been character meet and greet locations themed similarly to the characters' houses in Toontown. The land would have also been home to some restaurants, as well as a large World of Disney-styled store. Continuing past Fantasyland Street, taking a left in the hub would have placed you in Pixar Animation Studios. Inside the studios would have been an indoor Art of Pixar section, similar to the Art of Animation building at Disney California Adventure. Here you could have met or drawn your favorite Pixar characters, and of course, shopped your heart out. Also in Pixar Studios, entering through Luigi's Casa della Tires, would have been Radiator Springs Races, one of the biggest e-tickets of the park. Around Radiator Springs Races would have been some cozy cones, though looking at the overhead park layout, these would have just been thematic elements, rather than delicious snack locations like at DCA. Moving past Pixar Studios, you have what is arguably the most intriguing land of them all, Fantasyland. Though, I'm reluctant to call it that with how different it would have been to the other lands of fantasy. The land would have been positioned in front of the Castle of Dreams, much more on that shortly, and featured the distinctive Arabian architecture, rather than the European stylings we're used to. It almost seems more reminiscent of Paris's Adventureland than a Fantasyland. In the center would have been what appears to be the park's second carousel, some major dark rides, as well as a form of Aladdin attraction, entering through a replica of the Cave of Wonders, thankfully looking to be a more fitting Aladdin attraction for this Arabian park, rather than a simple, underwhelming magic carpet spinner. Of course, the icon of the entire park, the Castle of Dreams, featuring its distinctively Middle Eastern elements of spires, domes, and minarets, would have been the focal point of this Fantasyland. Though to completely understand this castle, we need to view it from the other side of the park, where you would have noticed a grand, Tinkerbell-topped porte cochere acting as the entrance to a major, 5-star hotel located within the castle. The back half of this Disney resort behind the castle would have been dedicated to this extravagant hotel, featuring gardens, a pool, and even a wing that appears to be a treehouse or maybe even an Ewok village style of accommodation. The Castle Hotel would have featured both park and garden facing rooms and seems to be a major focus of these designs, almost creating a new, hybrid form of Disney resort, with a smaller scale Disney theme park containing some fan favorite IPs and attractions, as well as an elegant hotel, fitting in with the Dubai sense of luxury. Past the hotel and Arabian fantasy sections was a rather small Adventureland, though in some ways the Fantasyland contained enough elements of adventure that they could almost be linked. The only major attraction visible in this land would have been the Jungle Cruise, featuring all of the expected animals, show scenes, and more. The final land would have been another massive departure from what's expected of a Magic Kingdom style park, with Tomorrowland being replaced by Star Wars Land. Though rather than an immersive, singular location like Batuu, this land would have mixed some of the Star Wars universe's most well-known locations and icons. Immediately catching your eye as the weenie to the land would have been a Death Star-themed Astro Orbiter, where you would have ridden in X-Wings and TIE Fighters. Elsewhere in the land would have been Star Tours, inside a small-scale replica of Cloud City, with a Starspeeder 1000 and even a full-size Millennium Falcon attached to the outside. Elsewhere would have also been the giant foreboding Jedi Temple or Imperial Palace, depending on what they wanted to do with it. As you can see, Disneyland Dubai would have had some major departures from what we expect from a Disney theme park. This park was poised to almost be a Disney Wharf 2.0, a mix of a resort destination like Aulani, with Disney rides, characters, and attractions. Of course, this park, like so many of Dubai's theme park plans, never got off the ground. So what happened? The most important thing to remember is that the client for this project wasn't Disney themselves, but instead Riva Creative, a United Arab Emirates-based company who had a major hand in creating the parks that currently reside at Dubai Parks and Resorts, including Motion Gate, Bollywood, and Legoland. Riva was looking to create a licensed Disney resort where they would build and manage the park, paying Disney royalties to use their characters and name, similar to the agreement the Oriental Land Company has to run the Tokyo Disney Resort. It may never become public knowledge exactly what happened behind closed doors, but Riva Creative paid big bucks to Favilli in order to completely design this park proposal. But somewhere the discussions between Disney and Riva about making this park a reality fell through. When the concept art was first published over on Insights and Sounds in 2014, the owner of the blog received a phone call from the director of operations at Favilli Studios, asking politely for them to be taken down. Why? Because negotiations with Riva and Disney were still ongoing, and the documents were very real and very sensitive. However, between now and then, nothing more has happened or even been revealed about Disneyland Dubai, and realistically, the project is sadly dead, especially with Riva Creative not even existing anymore. Sadly, in the last 10 years, the shine of Dubai as a theme park destination has rubbed off. Parks such as Universal Studios and Six Flags have been officially cancelled, and even the handful of parks that did open in the area struggle to meet attendance projections and have posted losses over the last financial year. So whilst I don't doubt sometime in our lives we'll see another brand new Disney resort in the world, I highly doubt it will be in Dubai. From the home of all things theme parks, I'm Luke for ReviewTyme. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing.